Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the suspect in the deadly mass shooting in an Atlanta medical office is now in custody. How police tracked him down. And the latest on the subway chokehold death here in New York City. What we're learning this morning and the protests. And what to know about the Fed's latest interest rate hike. Will it keep going higher? Where it will cost you, and then how you can make the most of rising rates. You don't want to miss that and so much more right here on GMA.
And coming up on Good Morning San Antonio, we're tracking some flashing lights, I-10 and medical. You see those on TransGuide. We'll be right back.
The manhunt for a mass shooting suspect is now over in Atlanta. I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington with what authorities say helped them catch him quickly.
Good Thursday morning. We are starting off humid again, kind of like yesterday. Maybe a chance of rain or storms later today, but we're going to check in with Mike to see how severe they could be.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you, rise and shine, everybody. It is Thursday, May 4th.
That's right. It's Star Wars Day, but on a serious note, we may get some severe weather, maybe, over the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and check in with Mike.
She said it all right there.
Yeah, once again, the situation, been saying this all week long leading up to this, and like the past few times we've had severe weather, rain chances themselves are not that great. Most everybody won't see anything, but if something pops, the atmosphere is becoming very volatile tonight, so it doesn't take much for those to really start to, the storms to blow up and become potentially severe. So here's what it looks like out there on the skyline. You can see that kind of haze hanging over the city. We do have a little bit of fog off to the east and then down to the southeast, but in the metropolitan area, it's not bad as of right now. However, that can change very easily, very quickly when we're dealing with some of this fog. Temperatures have been steady for the past couple of hours, mid-upper 60s, low 70s, up a couple of degrees compared to this time yesterday. Same thing with the dew point temperatures. We actually went up just one notch in the past hour, up to 67 right now. It's not that, like, fog up your glasses kind of humidity, but enough to where you notice it when you step outside. Mold and grass are both on the low side, and throughout the rest of the morning, pretty much steady temperatures. Got a 10% chance for little mist, maybe a sprinkle here or there. Some of the patchy fog, not much though, and then we'll make it up to 76 at noon. A little bit of sunshine thrown in. We had limited sunshine yesterday and a shower or two, and then we're going to start to see a few thunderstorms developing by late this afternoon and going in toward dinner time, especially out to the west, and then those will work their way across the area. And yes, we do have that severe threat. As a matter of fact, remember yesterday this darker shade of pink was just about covering the western half of the area. Well, Storm Prediction Centers expanded this late yesterday, so this is a level 2, which means on a scale of 1 to 5 as far as the chance for something to become strong to severe. And again, the threats are once again going to be hail as well as very, very strong winds, large hail, flooding, and an isolated tornado. Albeit possible, and could have a couple of heavier downpours here, are not very likely. We're going to talk about that, the timing of this for tonight, and then also severe threat does remain in the forecast for the next couple of days. That and the weekend coming up in a couple of minutes. Traffic authority, Stephen, I just out of the corner of my eye see what looks like a Christmas tree lit up.
Yes, and it's not something that is worth celebrating here, Mike. Unfortunately, 35 at Top Irvine, we do have a serious crash that's been reported. The northbound lanes are what's being impacted at this hour. You can see that we have several first responders out there on the scene that has put traffic pretty much at a standstill there. We're working to find out how many lanes are closed at this hour, but it appears that it could be at least 3. I do notice that it also looks like we may have a fire unit out there, but we'll work to get some information. This is, again, 35 at Top Irvine, and if you remember yesterday, it's the exact same spot we had a pretty serious crash also reported. So we're seeing the same trend continue here, unfortunately. So we'll try to get some information from the Live Oak Police Department, because usually this is where they respond to those incidents along 35 northbound near Top Irvine Road. That is where the crash has been reported. If you are heading north, maybe up toward Schertz or Live Oak, this is going to cause some delays. You may have just seen that on the screen. We just run from the green to the orange. That's never a good sign out there. So we're going to watch that area closely, but also keeping a very close eye over here off of Loop 410, or pardon me, I-10 near Medical Drive. We have a stalled vehicle that's off on the shoulder lanes. You saw that as we went to commercial break. Didn't really look like it's impacting traffic, and that seems to be the case still from our map. But the morning has been pretty problematic, to say the least. Thankfully, as we give you a wider look at the map, everywhere else looks pretty calm, but these two areas are pretty busy routes for a lot of drivers. Again, 35 northbound here at Topperwine Road is where we have this major crash reported. You can see that first responders are directing traffic, possibly off of Loop 1604. We're going to watch this area closely, work to get some details. No word yet on any serious injuries, but we hope everyone's doing okay out there. But for right now, just pack some patience and maybe best to avoid the area. Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a house fire on the east side overnight. This happened around 11 p.m. at a home on East Crockett Street. That's not far from East Houston Street and Lincoln Park. Firefighters tell us that when they got there, they found a fire in a front bedroom on a mattress. We're told the woman who owns the home takes in people with mental illness. Now, all the residents managed to get out safely. An arson and investigation team has since been called out to that house because, according to the owner, one of the residents has a history of pyromania.
Topping your morning headlines in Atlanta this morning. Authorities say they have caught the suspected mass shooter accused of killing one woman and leaving 4 others hurt.
That suspect had been on the run for hours after police say that he opened fire inside a medical center before his arrest late yesterday.
ABC's Justin Finch staying on top of the story, keeping an eye on the latest developments.
This morning, the mayor of Atlanta vowing that the now captured mass shooting suspect will face justice.
He will be charged and stand trial for his crimes.
24-year-old Dion Patterson accused of opening fire inside a medical center waiting room just before noon Wednesday.
There was a female shot. She's seriously bleeding, shot in the side and the back.
39-year-old CDC employee Amy St. Pierre killed. The CDC releasing a statement saying it's saddened by St. Pierre's sudden loss. 4 other women ranging in age from 25 to 71 all rushed into emergency treatment for gunshot wounds.
He spent about maybe 2 minutes inside the building where he then exited on foot.
Police then saying its camera network tracked Patterson to a gas station, spotting him stealing a pickup truck left running.
Very shortly, we were joined by the GBI, the FBI, the Secret Service, as well as the United States Marshal Service as we sought to bring this person into custody.
A multi-agency pursuit. Law enforcement trailing Patterson outside Atlanta where he surrendered. In Washington, a Georgia senator demanding gun safety reform.
We behave as if this is normal. It is not normal.
The suspect's mother telling the Associated Press her son was a former Coast Guardsman who was suffering with mental instability from a new medication. She says the Veterans Affairs Health System denied Patterson the Ativan he wanted for his anxiety and depression. The Coast Guard confirms Patterson joined the service in 2018 and was discharged in January. The Gun Violence Archive reports Atlanta was the site of one of at least 2 U.S. mass shootings Wednesday. The archive now counts more than 190 mass shootings so far this year. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The woman who's the spouse of the suspect in last week's massacre in Cleveland, Texas, has gone before a judge on charges she helped him escape. Divimara Nava is facing a charge of hindering the apprehension of a fugitive. She was arrested shortly after the arrest of Francisco Oropesa, who is accused of killing 5 people, including a child, at his neighbor's home. According to arrest documents, she allowed him to stay at her home during the manhunt.
To consumer news, and interest rates are rising again, but it may be the last hike for a little while. The Fed is boosting a key rate by another quarter point to the highest level in 16 years. It's all in an effort to slow down inflation. However, the Fed also indicated it may be open to a pause in a string of 10 straight increases.
Also on the way up, auto insurance premiums. 2 of the country's biggest insurance companies, Allstate and Progressive, say they're moving ahead with rate hikes. They point to higher costs for car repairs due to inflation.
Airlines are expecting a busy travel summer and they're looking for help. United says it hired 7,000 new workers in the first 4 months of the year. They plan to add a total of 15,000 people by the end of the year.
And they'll need them all. Google's moved toward a future without passwords. It's now supporting pass keys, which allow users to access accounts using a fingerprint, face scan, or screen lock PIN. Once added, your account will prompt for your pass key when you sign in or when suspicious activity is detected.
Airbnb has launched a new rooms category. It allows users to look for rooms in private homes and get very specific details. The listings will include whether bedrooms have locks, if bathrooms are shared or private, and whether anyone else will be in the home.
Good stuff to know.
Yeah.
6:08, 70 degrees.
Coming up later this morning, a countdown to the coronation, plus a look at the role young Prince George will play as his grandfather is crowned. That's on GMA beginning at 7.
And after the break, some simple ways you can brag and win at work.
Looking out there with live cam, could expect some storms later today. Maybe not rain though. For now, we're looking at 70 degrees, but we're going to check in with Mike later on for your full forecast. Welcome back. It is 6:12. So the art of bragging is a delicate balance and a social skill that can be useful in personal and professional settings.
Yeah, but careful. There is a way you can boast about your accomplishments to the boss in a way that leaves your successes lingering long after the meetings end.
Leslie Hudson reports.
Why do you have to brag when you're showing your talent?
Some people will say boasting, some people will say bragging, but if you're doing something that's positive, then it's okay to brag.
I guess it depends on the way you do it. Bragging on your accomplishments.
Nobody likes a loud bragger. But how do you get your boss to notice you without being the most boastful person in the office? First tip. Replace every we you can with I. Experts say it's about selling yourself. It's not bad to use I statements and accept the rewards if you're due. And own your accomplishments. Career coaches say owning your wins first and giving kudos after motivates everyone to do better. Lastly, drop the humble brag.
The boss just took me out to lunch because I've been doing such a great job and he bought me drinks. Now I'm drunk. I can't even do any work.
Research from Harvard University showed humble braggers to be seen as incompetent and unlikable. The study showed them to be insincere and 65% less successful than those who were honest and sold it. Helping you brag to the boss the right way, I'm Leslie Hudson reporting.
Well, we can't even count how many people use I-35 at Topperwine every single morning.
I know, and it looks like we have problems there once again. Let's check back with Steven Cavazos.
We know that there are thousands, and that's according to TxDOT. But unfortunately, it looks like those that are traveling this early in the morning may be at a standstill. And that's because I-35 is about to be shut down in the northbound lanes due to this major crash right behind me. You can see that we have multiple first responders out on the scene. And at this hour, we saw about 2 lanes blocked. But again, because this is a multi-vehicle crash that we're now learning about, they're actually going to shut down the highway just completely just to make sure they can get the cleanup process underway. But notice the big backup. Our friends at TransGuide Polly giving us a wide look at what we're seeing out there in the northbound lanes. Usually it's the southbound lanes that are pretty much riddled with trouble because a lot of folks are making their way into the Alamo City. But those that have to travel north of 35 are going to have some big trouble. You're going to probably have to take the access road here because, again, the highway is about to be shut down there at I-35 northbound at Topperwine Road due to a multi-vehicle crash. No word yet on any injuries. We hope everyone is doing okay, but traffic is just not looking pretty out there. So avoid that area if you can. To quick jump over here, though, we still have that stalled vehicle at I-10 westbound and Medical Drive. Looks like that may have already cleared out. I'm not really concerned about it either because it really wasn't causing any issues for drivers. So I'm going to get rid of that on the map for now. But you can see no major slowdowns are reported other than there along 35 as you approach Live Oak. You see a lot of that stretch of red, and that is because we have that huge backup building. Pardon me as I try to move around here, maneuver away around the screen because that's a pretty big backup. Again, traffic is just at a standstill. We're going to watch it very closely throughout the morning. But as you mentioned, Mark, we can't even really count how many people travel along I-35, just that it's a very busy corridor.
Okay, I was kind of scratching my head. This is deja vu.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Same exact thing.
Same exact spot yesterday. Yeah, exactly. 35 northbound at Topperwine, we had a pretty serious crash, shut down the highway. Now we're seeing the same issue this morning, guys.
And we were talking about the Rubberneckers southbound because that looks like it's slowing down a little bit too.
I forgot about that
part. The poor drivers headed in the same direction as yesterday at this time.
Yep.
Deja vu for them as well.
Yeah.
All right,
safe, guys.
Well, if you are catching the school bus this morning, warm and humid out there, you don't need a jacket. If you're going to be out late throughout the afternoon hours, you may want to take a little rain jacket with you, but there's some mist out there, a patch of fog here and there off to the east, not anything real thick. And then we'll see a couple of showers developing this afternoon, very scattered about. Rain chances are not that great, but then if something does pop, some of those storms later on tonight could be on the strong to potentially severe side. All right, quick check of a KSAT Connect picture, and I just love that shot of that hibiscus. That is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much for that with the color. All right, want to jump ahead to the future very quickly. The far beyond our forecast. This is going into the latter half of next week. And this is very encouraging from the Climate Prediction Center that has, now this doesn't mean it's going to be raining, but the odds of above normal rain chances do exist around here. Now, as far as temperatures, still staying on the warm side, and that would continue the trend that's going to start tomorrow all the way through the middle part of next week, staying, or the odds of being a little bit warmer than normal. And then going into next weekend and beyond that, still better than average rain chances and temperatures at or slightly below normal, or at least that chance of that. So this is a very encouraging forecast as far as rain chances are concerned. Now, this morning temperatures are going to be staying pretty steady all morning long, right around upper 60s, low 70s, that 10% chance for a stray little shower here and there. And one or two of them, again, not great rain chances for you individually to see rain, but then by later on this afternoon, as things start to become a lot more volatile around here, the chances that something pops up and then becomes severe definitely start to go up. So this is late afternoon, a couple of showers just sort of scattered about the area, and we're going to be watching out for, and a couple of computer models want to get that big cluster to try and develop to the southwest. Now, this one even has some up there in portions of the hill country. Then that particular model has those dying down, but that cluster down to the south and to the southwest, it still holds together, and that goes in through the evening hours and the wee hours tomorrow morning, and then fizzles on out. Again, Storm Prediction Center has 2 out of a scale of 1 to 5, covering just about all of our area as far as the threat for severe weather. And like I said, the atmosphere is going to become very, very volatile later on this afternoon, as well as tomorrow afternoon, as well as Saturday afternoon. So that's why rain chances, albeit on the small side, anything that pops up could become strong to potentially severe. I want to go into the future a little bit further. And first of all, this long-range model, there's some of the showers and thunderstorms later on tonight. Now, granted, this is a kind of a broad brush. And then we go into Saturday, late tomorrow night, early Saturday. Saturday, couple of showers and thunderstorms as well, maybe 1 or 2, a little bit lesser chance on Sunday, but this does actually keep the chance for a few showers around here, even going into, like I said, the middle portion of next week. And then, as we saw from the Climate Prediction Center, beyond that, at least they're going for some above normal or better than normal chance for some rain. So 76 degrees today at noon, mostly cloudy skies, and then a high temperature today up to 83. A couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms. Potential for some of those to become severe then later on tonight. Now, tomorrow, we are going to start to heat up. That's what we're all going to be seeing. Hot and humid. Heat index readings are definitely going to be an issue weekend going into next week, and those rain chances do exist. The threat for severe weather, like I said, once again tomorrow, as well as later on Saturday. But, overall, May is usually our wettest month. Now, this does not mean it's going to be raining everywhere or constantly, but I mean, this is fantastic. The La Nina pattern we were in for the long time, about a year and a half, finally broken down. So we get, some of these afternoon showers popping up here. So great forecast, but be on the lookout tonight.
We sure will. Thank you, Mike.
620, 70 degrees.
And after the break, a GPS fail in your GMA First Look, how a woman and her passenger drove off a boat ramp straight into the water.
Martial arts is my passion.
I work out whenever I can.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it can be tough.
My skin was so uncomfortable.
The itching was so bad.
Now I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a wild scene at a Hawaiian harbor.
Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to happen.
A woman and her passenger driving right down a boat ramp straight into the water, even smiling in confusion as their van sinks lower, still rolling forward.
I think they must have been some sort of shock or delayed reaction. I don't think that they immediately registered that they were in the harbor.
The passenger quickly making it out of the window, but the driver still inside.
I jumped in the water and got to the window and spoke to the driver. It was relatively deep where they were. They were drifting out. The weather was really bad. I don't know the reasons for them going into the water, but it happened. All we could do was save them.
And coming up at 7 a.m., what those rescuers have to say about how this all happened. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
And happy Star Wars Day. To celebrate, 2 new series will premiere. Both are set in that galaxy far, far away. First, the new Disney Plus and Disney Junior series Young Jedi Adventures is set in the High Republic era as Jedi younglings explore the galaxy and learn the ways of the Force. And Star Wars Visions Volume 2 on Disney Plus features new short films made by 9 different animation studios from around the world. They each tell a new Star Wars story in their own way.
And this is very appropriate for the date. On this Star Wars Day, Princess Leia will receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Carrie Fisher had a diverse career. She was an Emmy-nominated television actress and author, but she'll always be known, of course, as Princess Leia Organa from the Star Wars franchise. She died back in 2016 at 60 years old.
Time now, 6:25 and 70 degrees for now.
Northbound 35 is our very big problem right now. An update on the situation with Stephen Cavazos coming up after this break. Outside with live cam, very humid, sun trying to come up about 70 degrees, and Mike's got us on storm alert for the next couple of days. Welcome back, 6:30 on your Thursday. It is May 4th, and may the 4th be with you.
Yes, happy Star Wars Day. Let's. You have cufflinks.
Darth Vader cufflinks.
Cool.
Yes,
Darth Vader cufflinks.
And Yoda / Grogu.
Yes.
Oh, they're Grogu, right?
Yeah, Grogu earrings.
Earrings.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, that looks cool. And, okay, on the serious side, if you have not yet done this, we always keep saying, get that KSAT weather app because you can get the alerts as if indeed something does pop up. You can check out radar, and of course, the folks are going to be here later on tonight just monitoring the situation. And again, that, like Mark was alluding to, that'll be the situation the next couple of days. Step outside right now, and yeah, you're going to notice the humidity, and there's that kind of sort of hazy look around the area right now. We've got a temperature standing at 70. The normal average low temperature is 63, so well above that, averaging 5-10 degrees above normal. Bunch of humidity, dew points at 67. That actually went up a little bit even this morning. And as far as fog, we had that batch right there, right around Seguin. That has sort of moved or just kind of dissipated, but now there's another spot up there right around San Marcos, a little bit of reduced visibility at New Braunfels and more down to the southeast, but in the metropolitan area, it's not bad for right now. That may start to thicken up, so a little bit of mist is also going to be possible with that. Mid-upper 60s, temperatures are actually up a couple of degrees, got more 70s on the map this morning than what we had yesterday morning, and those numbers are about what you would expect right around, say, early middle of July for low temperature, a normal low. Humidity, everybody's enjoying that. If you are a humidity lover, you're going to like the forecast. Mold and grass are both on the low side. So a couple of showers are going to be developing later on this afternoon, just one or two of them here and there. Then a few storms, mid-80s today, low to mid-80s, right around normal. Then tonight, some of those storms may become severe. So the chances of rain itself are not that great, but the odds that something then becomes severe if it does pop up are pretty good because the atmosphere is very, very volatile. And that's going to be the situation tomorrow as well. Plus, we definitely heat up. Upper 80s, right around 90 tomorrow, all the way through the weekend. Couple of showers, couple of storms, and some of those could be on the strong to severe side, especially on Saturday. Storm Prediction Center has us in the threat all around the area. This would be the darker shade of pink, a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5 as far as the scattered strong to severe storms. And it's high winds and hail once again that are going to be the biggest threats, and most of that is going to be into the evening hours. We'll get details, take a look at a couple of the computer models, what's going on, and also check out the weekend. More on that coming up. Traffic Authority, once again, boy, deja vu as we were talking about.
Yeah, and you know what, Mike, the roads aren't necessarily wet this morning, so this is, again, a big problem for a lot of folks that are traveling along I-35 northbound. Check it out right behind me. I'm going to step out so you can see what's going on there. You may have received a notification on your KSAT mobile app about a multi-vehicle crash that's occurred here at 35 northbound near Topper Wine Road. Unfortunately, it's led to first responders forcing to close the highway down so they could get the cleanup process underway. No word yet on any injuries. We hope everyone's doing okay. I really want to emphasize that, but traffic is just not looking good out there. We really did emphasize this earlier, that there are thousands of people that travel through 35 each and every day, whether it's in the north or southbound lanes for their commute. Guys, you're going to want to look for a different route this morning. I'm going to comb through some solutions as well, but you can see that the highway being closed has really forced a lot of folks there that are still on there at a standstill. So not looking good. And even along the Axis Road, we are seeing a lot more traffic than usual. And of course, our map now showing a lot of red out there this early in the morning, and we are just about to get morning rush going here. So this is going to cause big issues. If you're still at home and you have to travel, 35 northbound may not be for you right now. You're going to be stuck in traffic for a little while. Even 35 southbound starting to get a little bit busier, but that's always expected. Giving you a wide look now at the metropolitan area back here. We're really going to start to see a lot more of it take over the map. And you already know it's the same spots. US 90 eastbound as you approach Loop 1604 on the far west side. But really, it's going to big problem is going to be over here at 35 northbound at Topper Wine Road. You have, again, make sure you have your KSAT mobile app downloaded. We are going to be sending some notifications. We'll be monitoring this situation very closely. And I'm getting ready to send an email to the Live Oak Police Department to see if they have any information on this particular incident. So let's hope everyone's doing okay out there, guys.
Right now, we want to get to late breaking news. It's one stop that was definitely not on the school bus route.
The San Antonio police have found a school bus that is a long way from home. It's in a strip mall near Ingram and Callahan Roads.
Katrina Weber is there with the live report. Katrina, we understand the bus apparently was stolen from a school district all the way across town.
Well, that's absolutely right. According to what it says right on the bus, this belongs to the East Central Independent School District. Yet this is where it was found here on the west side of town in a supermarket parking lot. San Antonio police tell us they got a call before 6 o'clock this morning that there was a bus that East Central ISD had tracked to this area of town. Now, initially, they thought it might be closer to Ingram Park Mall on the other side of 410, but then they got another signal telling them to come to this location. Again, this is near Callahan Road on Ingram Road, and that is the bus there that was stolen apparently overnight. San Antonio police tell us that they did search the bus looking for any possible weapons or to see if anyone was on there. They did not find anything or anyone on the bus. What they are doing now is sitting here watching this, waiting for someone with East Central ISD to come and reclaim their property. They have been keeping an eye on this again since about 6 o'clock this morning. We are going to reach out to East Central ISD to find out exactly what the circumstances were, where it was stolen from, and what exactly happened. But for now, we have a recovered bus that was stolen apparently overnight, but again, from way over on the southeast side of town. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what led to a late night shooting. It happened yesterday just west of downtown near South Hamilton Avenue. And that's where police tell us a 28-year-old man was shot by someone demanding money. He was hit in the arm and was taken to the hospital where he is expected to be okay. No word yet on any arrests.
The man is facing charges after police say he held his own mother at knife point. Happened last night at an apartment complex not too far from 410 near Rittiman. San Antonio police responded to a call for a family disturbance with a knife. Investigators think the suspect assaulted his girlfriend, sister, and mom. We're told when officers arrived, the suspect ran and his mother went after him.
He grabbed the mom by the around the throat and put a knife up to her throat. And one of the officers who was in pursuit came up behind him and shot him one time in the thigh.
So as you just heard the chief say, the officer shot the suspect in the leg. He's expected to be okay. That suspect is expected to face charges of aggravated assault.
This morning, we are hearing from a San Antonio man shot during Fiesta at Market Square about a week ago.
All I just saw was a gun raised towards our way, and I pushed my cousin, and I just remember just feeling the impact in my breath coming out of my mouth, kind of like a punch to the gut.
Omar Rodriguez was shot in the chest. He says a fight broke out when a couple moved aggressively through the crowd, pushing his pregnant wife. He says it all happened very quickly.
We were having so much fun. We were pretty much just dancing, laughing, making memories, and then just the altercation, everything just went south after that.
So far, no arrests have been made.
A family struck by a falling tree at the San Antonio Zoo over spring break is now filing a lawsuit against the zoo. Lawsuit claims that the zoo and Alamo City Arbor Care should have known the tree was unhealthy before it crashed in March. Crystal and Liberato Rodriguez and their 2 minor children were caught under the tree. The suit asked for past and future medical expenses, but also an award for pain and suffering, mental anguish, loss of earnings, as well as punitive damages.
Overseas, more than questions and answers this morning after an apparent drone strike on the Kremlin in Moscow. The Russians claim it was Ukraine targeting Vladimir Putin.
But military analysts are not convinced. ABC's Justin Finch has details.
Early this morning, air raid sirens blared throughout Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, for more than 3 hours. Authorities saying Russia launched a complex airstrike with drones and missiles, but no casualties were reported overnight. It comes after Russia claimed it stopped a drone strike on the Kremlin in the heart of Moscow. What it claims was an unsuccessful assassination attempt on President Putin, who was not in the Kremlin at the time.
This is the first time that the war has been brought home to Moscow.
Video posted by Russian state media shows the first drone yesterday morning. 16 minutes later, a second drone explodes as it approaches the Russian flag.
If, in fact, this does turn out to be a Ukrainian attack, it likely was not an assassination attempt. The amount of ordnance, the explosive on those drones is too small. They wanted the symbolic victory of attacking the Kremlin.
When it comes to who's responsible, experts say there are several possibilities. A resistance group within Russia, a so-called false flag operation by Putin's government to justify more attacks on Ukraine, or a warning shot from Ukrainian forces, which President Zelensky fiercely denied yesterday.
We don't attack Putin or Moscow. We fight on our territory.
In Washington, after a closed-door briefing with the director of the CIA, Senator Mark Warner said there's no indication yet that Ukraine is behind the drone strike.
The committee expressed, whatever intel we get, we need to hear it as soon as possible from the agency director.
Meanwhile, as Ukraine prepares for a possible spring counteroffensive, the Biden administration today is announcing another $300 million in military aid. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Just about 6:40, 70 degrees.
After the break, a look at some ways you can help the community here in San Antonio.
I-35 North is a parking lot on the northeast side. We'll talk to Stephen in a sec. Now to a couple of KSAT community events you need to know about. In a couple of weeks, you're invited to a health and wellness conference. It's happening May 18th and 19th at the Norris Conference Center. There'll be more than 15 workshops and resources related to mental health and wellness. The two-day workshop is free and open to families and professionals.
And you still have time to donate a shoebox of essentials for those in need. The United Way of San Antonio and Bexar County's Shoebox Project hopes to collect 10,000 shoeboxes full of those essentials. They will be donated to the vulnerable populations here in San Antonio. The drive ends on May 26th, so you still have time. All that information about how you can help is on our website at ksat.com.
If you're headed out of San Antonio on I-35, build in a lot of extra time this morning.
Yeah, problems on I-35. Let's check back with Stephen.
Yeah, this is the parking lot you mentioned, Mark. Oh, my goodness. Take a look there, 35 at Judson. Traffic is at a standstill, folks. This is the area we want you to avoid. 35 north going up toward Live Oak. Not going to be the spot for you this morning. Just take a look at the folks that are stuck there right now. This is due to a major crash. It involves multiple vehicles that was reported earlier this morning. We're still working to get some information and are not sure of any injuries just yet, but we do know this has caused some pretty big backups because first responders have been forced to close the highway, and obviously it's leading to situations like this along the northbound lanes of 35. Typically we see problems like this in the southbound lanes, but really it's going to be the northbound lanes that are going to cause us a lot of issues this morning. Take a look there. Lots of red building there near Topperwine Road where the crash was reported. Again, this does involve multiple vehicles. First responders have shut down the highway. In fact, traffic, as you just saw, was backed up close to 3 miles to that interchange there. And really, we're going to see that probably last at least well into the early hours of our Good Morning San Antonio cut-ins. But let's take a look here at the travel times. When you talk about heading out of town, yeah, it's going to take you close to an hour. The drive time from I-35 North 410 interchange to New Braunfels is roughly about 53 minutes. So it's going to take a little while to get out of there. It's not a pretty shot there, but we're going to watch it closely throughout the morning. But this is definitely going to be another issue for drivers that are heading north along 35. Same problem we had yesterday, folks.
Yikes. I mean, do you give yourself an extra 30 minutes, 45 minutes?
You know, and I even hate to say this,
right.
You may want to call the bosses if you're already out there. You may want to let them know I may be a little bit late. Don't blame me.
Right.
But just, you know, unfortunately, but my advice to you, just let your bosses know you may be a little bit late.
Well, and think about this too. I mean, we can't see school buses in that shot.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's very possible they're stuck in that traffic too.
Well, if you got to get up to New Braunfels, 10
that
or 281.
Yep.
If you can.
46
If
over
you
some.
can, yeah.
All right, well, on a much lighter note, take a look at this picture. Now, the moon is going to be full tomorrow, but boy, what a gorgeous, gorgeous shot there. That's a fantastic KSAT Connect picture. Thank you very much for that. Not the best moon gazing weather, not the best sunrise weather. We got a lot of clouds hanging around here, a lot of humidity, and temperatures are in the mid upper 60s, low 70s. Are going to stay steady the next couple of hours. A little bit of a sprinkle, mist. That's the 10% that I've got in there. So a couple of patches of fog. Fog's not a huge issue right now, but just be on the lookout for that. And then as we go into the afternoon, 76 at noon, we will see a limited sunshine going on in here. And any sunshine, though, is not necessarily a good thing, but that's just going to add to the volatility of the atmosphere. And so that's why by late this afternoon, we start to see a few of those thunderstorms trying to pop up. 83 for a high temperature. I want to show you two different computer models. And here's this one, which has some of these showers and thunderstorms developing out in northern parts of the hill country, and then this cell right there around Del Rio. Now, as put this into motion through the timeline right around dinner time, this continues to build. This particular model has that one up there to the north sort of dying off a little bit, and this will continue to work its way on through the area in through the evening hours. Now, different computer model, and both of them, this one also has those two areas developing. However, this one keeps that area going and has the one to the south that sort of fizzles on out as time rolls on. So this is sort of the dilemma as far as none of them can really grasp onto the rain chances, but what everything is in agreement on is the fact that if anything does pop up, it can become severe very easily. And so that's why we have that severe threat for scattered high winds, hail being the biggest threats. That's going to be tonight. Severe threat tomorrow and severe threat on Saturday. And that's just because, again, low rain chances, but volatile atmosphere sticks around today, tomorrow, as well as on Saturday. 76 degrees today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. And then high temperature makes it up to 83. A couple of showers just, here and there, scatter shot. A couple of storms are going to be developing late, especially out there to the west. And some of those may become severe. And then now, the next couple of days, starting tomorrow, we're going to really heat up right around 90. And heat index is definitely going to be an issue because humidity is going to be sticking around. Volatile atmosphere, not only today, tomorrow, Saturday. And then we still have that chance for rain. Not everywhere, not raining constantly through the middle of next week, but that chance of rain does exist. Stays pretty hot and humid. But again, later on this afternoon and tonight, get the app. Going to send updates. You can check out radar for yourself and see exactly what's going on and get the latest.
Can you rule out a tornado, an isolated tornado with these storms, Mike?
They're not very likely. In any severe situation like this, something, a small one could spin up, but again, it's not very likely. It's going to be high winds and hail that are the biggest threats with that.
All right, we'll watch out for that then. Thank you, Mike.
It's about 10 till 70 degrees.
And here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow on GMSA.
This week we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, but what are the historical origins of the holiday? I'm Sarah Costa. Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, hear about why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo in the U.S. and its history.
Let's look out there with a live cam starting at 70 degrees as the sun comes up. Not too hot yet, but a little humid out there. And again, we're going to be watching Mike very closely as he keeps track of the possible severe weather during the week.
In today's Tech Bites, Google's move toward a future without passwords. It's now supporting pass keys, which allow users to access accounts using a fingerprint, face scan, or screen lock PIN. Once added, your account will prompt for your pass key when you sign in or when suspicious activity is detected. Fortnite is now available on Amazon Luna, its cloud gaming service. Amazon says Fortnite has been its most requested game, but you'll need to be an Amazon Prime member or have a Luna subscription to stream it. And Airbnb has launched a new rooms category, which allows users to look for rooms in private homes and get very specific details. The listings will include whether bedrooms have locks, if bathrooms are shared or private, and whether anyone else will be in the home. Now, if someone is going to stay in your home, they should pay some rent. It's the least they could do. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It is way off the beaten path. This school bus, which belongs on the southeast side of town, found here on the west side. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Now, that bus apparently was stolen overnight from the East Central Independent School District. Those officers gave a call to San Antonio Police saying that they had received a signal that their bus was on this side of town. SAPD initially went to Ingram Road near Loop 410, but then East Central Police say that they got another signal saying that it was here in this parking lot off of Ingram Road near Callahan. SAPD did go on the bus. We saw them searching it. They say they were looking for any possible weapons or to see if anyone was on the bus. They did not find anything, and right now they are just hanging on to this bus until someone with East Central ISD can come here and reclaim their parents' stolen property. But again, that bus belongs on the southeast side of town. It's here somehow on the west side. Reporting from the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
You haven't heard yet. 35 North is a mess right now.
Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, and it's all because of this big crash that we have reported that involved multiple vehicles. Let's get a quick look at 35 at Topperwine. You can see the highway completely shut down at this hour, and that is because first responders are still in the cleanup process. Obviously, traffic's not looking great out there as we take you to our map. Big stretch of red if you are heading northbound along I-35. I would avoid the area if you can. We will look for different solutions for you, but 35 northbound near Topperwine is just a mess right now. Not the only issue I'm tracking, and unfortunately, we have an overturned vehicle here at I-35 southbound at Alamo. This is in the upper level. Notice a big stretch of red that's building out there as well. But again, I would say the biggest issue that we've seen all morning long here, guys, has been 35 here at Topperwine. We are working to get some information through Live Oak PD. We'll be keeping a very close eye on this and have those updates throughout Good Morning America, Mike.
Notice how it's a little kind of fuzzy looking out there in that picture. We do have hints of fog around the area, so watch out for that in the next couple of hours. Temperatures mid-upper 60s, low 70s, 83 high. Well, a couple of showers here and there, and then the chance for some of those storms developing later on, late this afternoon, evening, and tonight. Some may become severe. Odds of rain are low, but the chances of something become severe are pretty good, and hail and high winds are going to be the biggest threats with that. Same situation really tomorrow and Saturday. The severe threat does exist.
All right, we'll watch out for it. Thank you, Mike.
Have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you back at 9.
Traffic and weather updates throughout the morning during Good Morning America.